bring you the latest in a moment, but right now, and really throughout the morning, we've been watching those outer rain bands impact portions of the state. Conditions are only going to deteriorate. Not only have we had several tornado warnings, 2 of these have had confirmed tornadoes with them in the past hour. Out of South Florida, just to the north of I-75 is where we've been watching. So this is your heads up that more warnings are likely to come as a watch expands from the Keys all the way north through much of the state.
An unsurvivable storm surge will occur somewhere along Florida's Gulf Coast. Those values could reach upwards of 15 feet across the peninsula. Hurricane force winds going to lead to widespread power outages, heavy rain going to trigger flash flooding.
And Milton is expected then to track across Florida as a hurricane before it moves into the Atlantic Ocean on Thursday, producing life-threatening storm surge for Florida's east coast.
Orlando International and the Sanford Airport, they're now closed, suspending commercial operations as of 8 o'clock Eastern. The airports are going to remain open to accept emergency aid and relief flights as necessary. They're joining Tampa International, which closed down yesterday morning. The officials there at the airport in Tampa say that they will reopen when it's safe to do so. Our team coverage continues this morning with reporters, meteorologists, and storm trackers fanned out across Florida as Milton barrels closer to land. Tampa's mayor, Jane Castor, delivering a pretty stark message to residents. Take the evacuation order seriously. Mayor Castor has emphasized the potential dangers of staying in evacuation zones.
Helene was a wake-up call. This is literally catastrophic, and I can say without any dramatization whatsoever, if you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
Yeah, so you hear what Mayor Castor is saying there. Tampa police, they were out on the city streets and suburbs making sure the residents have gotten out of the areas that are under the mandatory evacuation zones. Let's now head out to Fox News. Robert Ray joining us live from Tampa. It's one of those situations, Robert, as we watch this advisory coming in, this is still a category 4 hurricane as it makes its approach towards Tampa. Still in the cone, there's still some question on where ultimately this will make landfall, and that could have huge implications based on where you're at in Tampa.
Yeah, it sure could, absolutely, especially for all the waterways here. You see the Garrison Channel behind me that leads into Hillsborough Bay, which then leads into Tampa Bay and then out into the Gulf of Mexico. If indeed the storm decides to wobble and head even a little bit more north and make a landfall, that's a worst case scenario for Tampa. Right now it's trending just to the south of where we're at. And I want to show you something. If Lloyd just pushes his camera and the lens right across this channel into Tampa General Hospital, and you see in the distance those blue basically storm surge panels. They've been using these for a couple years. I think they were brought upon during Hurricane Ian, and they did a great job during that, stopping the surge coming in. That is a good thing for a hospital that is of that size, and they may need, unfortunately, to be in a very big-time operation in the aftermath of this system. We've got gusty winds that have just begun here in Tampa, and rain falling as I speak right now. The issue, we've been talking about this for days, as Milton is churning out there as a Cat 4 and likely going to make its landfall at some point later tonight into the overnight. All of these barrier islands, and we look at the video from the destruction from Hurricane Helene just less than 2 weeks ago, bringing in storm surge, even though it wasn't a direct hit in these barrier islands here on Tampa. They certainly took a punch as 5 feet plus water moved in, pushing in sand and ripping up the insides of structures. And so all that debris is on the side of roadways, pushed to the side. They were hoping to get most of it removed, and they did get some of it removed, but frankly, you know, like in Bradenton Beach, there are piles everywhere. They just couldn't make it happen because of the mandatory evacs put in by the cities because of Hurricane Milton coming in, and that was smart. They needed to get people out. Unsurvivable, death could happen, as the mayor of Tampa has been talking about for a couple days. And so all of those debris piles will become essentially projectiles from the wind. They'll be floating 10 to 15 feet of storm surge potentially, and then waves on top of that. You may not see structures at all after this comes into places like Bradenton and other barrier islands. Not to mention down to the south in Fort Myers Beach, where Hurricane Ian tore apart that community, and they've been trying to rebuild, and it's been slow because they continue to get hit by storms, especially in the past